Okay, so with the last video, there's actually been no feedback given, and I discussed why that was in the previous video, but essentially I've fatigued my feedback providers, so I don't think there'll actually be much feedback, and as it becomes relevant, I think I'll probably talk about that more. So I think I'll get rid of the feedback section moving forward, and then if I look at the financials, same thing, there's been no new updates. I don't expect there to be any updates, but what I might do is I might make that more of a weekly update, and so I might do a little Sankey chart which shows you all your incomings and then your outgoings and what your profit and loss is, and then I might even break it down into a cash flow statement, so as well as all the other ones. But I think for individual episodes this isn't adding value beyond what it has already, so definitely at the start I think it's probably best off with both of these to have them as a weekly wrap up. So what I'll do is I'll do that and take it from there. So what I want to say is, in the previous episode we talked about the burning priority of being able to have the same feedback come in, and so that goes across the owned, earned and paid, which is the content that you've generated for owned, which is things like communities or any material that you put out there, as well as earned, which is reviews and media, like any kind of third party people, and then paid is Google Ads. So in the previous video we talked about community and how I'm going to build a community out of that, and then what I'm going to do this one is I'm going to talk about adding value and how I'm going to go about doing that. So what I would say is the community is one fashion that you can get feedback. The other way that you can get, and props to Reddit for doing this very well, is adding value and discussion. And so if you were to put Reddit on there and just do a sign up form and not going to give any credit or feedback, you get ripped apart. And there's a bit of a beauty behind that, because you can add value by providing templates, and if it's just a branded template, people are a lot more forgiving. But it's something where if people aren't downloading it for free, how much value are you adding? So it's a good way to kind of screen and test it and get the same kind of feedback without fatiguing your owned people. So you can do that through Earn. So what I want to do is, for all the content that I've done, which is 7 days, I want to do a guide, which is like my first 10 days on YouTube, and just have a bit of a template that could be a tick list. This is actually a perfect example because I didn't introduce and say, welcome to YouTube video 7 of me starting a non-linear business. I don't know what it's going to look like, but I just know that I'm going to have a business. And so by having that template, I can then print it off and then use it as my notes and take it from there. So that'll be my first one, is a template. And then how I'll do that is from the community. I don't think anyone will join me from there, but what I will say is I think there'll be some form of feedback. And so what they do with the feedback is, generally with feedback, the problem is correct, but the solution isn't. Take that with a grain of salt. So problem here, and then that person's lens gives you a solution. Perfectly viable from where they are. But I think there's going to be a lot of misunderstanding about what I'm trying to achieve, which could be me reframing it not correctly, or framing it not correctly, or it could be them interjecting their own bias, or a whole host of things. So there's a lot of different ways that this could happen, but regardless, I want to then show people that I've been able to take the feedback they had. Ideally, I'd like to address any feedback from curiosity. I don't need to be right. And that'll then also get me used to dealing with feedback and viewing it from that curiosity rather than I have to be right. So I think that's going to take a bit of a hit to my ego, but there's a lot of studies which show how psychology has a big impact on business owners. As an example, I'll have to verify it, but one of the things that I read was that the price increases is linked to owners' self-worth. So people that don't put their prices up frequently, or as their costs increase, or as the market changes, I'm not saying they don't have self-worth, but it's something which may not come intuitively to them, and they may feel a lot of hesitation around increasing their prices. Perfect example right now is in Australia with the coffee shops. Coffee's going through the roof. What used to be, say, as a ballpark, $3.50 is now $7 over less than 12 months. So that's double what people were paying, and it would be hard to pass that on to the customers. So you want to make sure that you're in a psychological strong point to be able to address any of this. And how that links to templates is when you're putting something out there, you're going to get feedback. That's great. Not all the feedback's going to be positive. That's also great. Like, how you react to that feedback is on you. A North Star will help. So in the next video, if there is any feedback, I'm going to put a post up from the community. I'll then, once I get to 10 days, do a YouTube template. I'll probably address some of those feedbacks, might even do a separate video for each one, but I'll create the template. It doesn't even have to be good, but it's the start of me generating those contents. So the thing that I also like is with this template, I'm gonna now make my website. And so I'm going to make it for the last golden age of humanity. And what I might do is I might start to brand the videos down the bottom. So I might actually change my branding a little bit. And that then means any templates that I put up will have that, which could then drive people to my website, which could then have a sign-up form if people want to find out more. I can then see click-through rates of people that actually download the template. I might have a download free because I always hate it with Reddit where I go there and someone wants me to sign up, so download free. Yeah, that'll be good. Don't know how I'm going to do that, but I'll get a website up soon, which will increase my costs, but I'll put that in the line items of what everything was each month. And then we'll take it from there. But overall, pretty happy. The template's going to do a lot. It's going to allow me to redirect people to websites. It's going to allow me to get feedback on the value that I'm delivering. It's going to allow me in a very low stake way to provide templates. Templates are going to be personal IP, which will be a modern day digital asset. So that's something that I can look at and take away. And so what it means is it's going to be more refined and it's going to have a higher polish. Whereas these daily videos, look, I mean, look, you got a typing error right there. Who cares? It's up, it's out. You can optimize on something that exists. If the content is good enough and resonates enough, you can have those imperfections. I've seen the most polished PowerPoint presentations be totally overlooked. And then I've seen ones which are riddled with spelling mistakes, horrible graphics, but it resonated with the people, and so they funded it. There's a classic example of that. I can't remember what it was. If I think of it, I'll put it on there. Let's see if I can make that a to-do. I'll keep it as a purple. Okay, so if I can, I don't know if I'll be able to do find deck with lots of mistakes. Lots of mistakes. Yeah, so resonate with people, get out there, optimize. I can optimize on a template once it's out. can't if it's never been there. So I'm building up proof of competency and building up my own network and getting out there. So what is it? YouTube 7 days. I have changed so much in a week and around my identity. My partner's embraced it. That's really good. As I was saying, she lent me her iPhone before I found out about local send, which allows you to pull videos off your phone or iPad or whatever device you want without needing a cable, because my USB cable doesn't work with my phone anymore. Wireless charging, joys of life. But in this 1 week, actually I might do a wrap on a week and then see how much you can change, because I think actually maybe that's a good idea. I might actually make a template based around how much you can change in 1 week, and yeah, I like that a lot. Potentially we'll do that. We'll find out in the next video. Thank you, and goodbye.